We continue now at the top of Daf Yodalad Amud Aleph and Meseches Makkos. This is Makkos Daf 14a. This Daf is sponsored by David Grossman. Thank you for your sponsorship. If you would like to sponsor an Amud or a Daf, see the description box below, and see the description box below to see how you can support this channel. On the previous Amud, we were discussing the opinion of Rabbi Akiva. Rabbi Akiva makes a distinction and says Chayve Misas Bezin cannot get Malkus, and Chayve Krisos can get Malkus. And Ravina now says, really, it's Kedamrinan Meikara. Really, the reason why Rabbi Akiva makes that distinction is, as we said earlier, Rashi explains Kedamrina Meikara Taimid Rabbi Akiva Mishum Shtei Rishayo. So the reason of Rabbi Akiva is because it says Kedei Rishaso, and you cannot give a person two punishments, and that's why you can't give him both Misas Bezdin and Malkus. Udeka Amrid, and that which you asked on that Chayve Krisas Nami Shtei Rishayo, saying you asked that Chayve Krisas also there's two punishments. There's Kares and Malkus, so how can it be? Da'akati Onesh Kares Olav, because right now he still has the punishment of Kares upon him, and the answer to that is, as the Gemara will now say, Lo Psika Milsa Lakares. It's not always that the person is going to get kares. Hoel v'utali b'teshuva, because kares is dependent upon teshuva. If the person does teshuva, there is no kares. As the Gemara now explains, again, it's kedamrina meikaretz, like we said earlier. Shemasu teshuva bezin shalmala mochlin lahen. That if they do teshuva, then the bezin shalmala will forgive them, and there is no kares. My amrit, what did you ask on that? Halo of it teshuva. You asked, but right now he hasn't done teshuva, so it should be a problem of two punishments. The Gemara answers, like Rashi just said, lo psika milsa lakares. It's not always that you're going to get kares. There's a way to get out of kares by doing teshuva. And the Gemara continues, we said on the previous summit, Rabbi Yitzchak Omer, that Rabbi Yitzchak says, Chayve Krisos bechlal hayu. Chayve Krisos, it's included in the generalization that all of the arayas that get kares. Veloma yotz is kares b'achosa. So why was kares specified specifically when a person is with his sister by that particular kind of arayas? Laduno b'kares velo b'malkus, to say, even when it comes to situations of kares, that they're only getting kares and they are not getting malkus. And the Gemara continues v'Rabbanan. Now, what about according to the other Tanoim that refers to Rabbi Shmuel and Rabbi Akiva, the Rabbanan, kares ba'achoso lamali. So what do they do with kares ba'achoso? And the Gemara says to that lechalik. That's in order to divide. And the Gemara explains Rabbi Yochanan. It's like Rabbi Yochanan says, Diyamar Rabbi Yochanan, because Rabbi Yochanan says shemason kulam behelam echad. Let's say a person does all of the arayas, but it's all one big mistake. It's all one shogeg. Chayiv al kolachas. Still, you're chayiv on every single one independently. You're going to be chayiv to bring an independent carbon. And Rashi explains, V'Rabbanan, again, Rabbi Shmuel, Rabbi Akiva. What do Rabbi Shmuel and Rabbi Akiva, what do they do with the fact that it says kares ba'achoso? L'chalik, they use it to divide. L'fisha kol al kol ha'arayos b'kares achas. Because all the cases of arayos, it's all mentioned that there's one kares that's mentioned over there. So Hayisi Yomer, so I might have thought, in Mason kulam behelam echad, if you do all of them in one mistake, in one shogeg, eino chayv al achas, then you're only going to be chayv to bring one carbon. L'kach yotzo kares ba'achoso, therefore kares ba'achoso is specified l'chalik, to divide. The havadavar shaya bechlal, this is considered something that was included in a generalization. V'yotzim in aklal, but then they take this out of the generalization and they specify specifically over here by achoso l'lamid al atzmo shemischayev oleh liatzmo, to teach about itself that you're chayiv independently. In masom im chavrosef, you do it together with the other averos. V'lo l'lamid al atzmo yotza, it's not just to teach about itself. Elo l'lamid al aklal kulo yotza, it's to teach about the entire category. Ma achoso miyuchedes she erva v'chayovin ala b'fnei atzmo, just like sister is unique, that it's arayas and you're chayiv independently. Afkol she'er v'chayavan ala b'fnei atzma. So to every case of arayas, there's an independent chayiv. And the Gemara continues, Rabbi Yitzchak l'chalik minole. So Rabbi Yitzchak, where does he know the idea of l'chalik if he can't learn it from kares ba'achoso? And the Gemara answers, nafkale, he learns it out from the following pasuk. The pasuk says, mi ve'el isha benidas tumasa. It says a person can't be with a woman that's a nida, but we understand from that pasuk, l'chayiv al kol isha v'isha, to be mechayiv on every single woman independently. Again, even if it's behelam echad, we're going to say you're going to bring a carbon on every one. Rashi says, mi ve'el isha dematzi l'mechtav ula nida lo sikrav. It could have simply said a person can't come close to a nida. It didn't need to say ve'el isha b'nidas tomasa. That ve'el isha teaches us again that it's l'chayev al kol isha v'isha. And the Gemara continues, v'Rabbanan nami. Now the Rabbanan also tepuk le'meha. Why don't they just learn it out from ve'el isha b'nidas tomasa? Which brings us back to the question of kares ba'achoso. The Gemara says in achinami, yes, you're actually correct. They do learn out l'chalek from the pasuk of ve'el isha b'nidas tomasa. Ve'ala kares da'achoso lamali. So what do they need kares ba'achoso for? L'chayev al achoso ve'al achos aviv ve'al achos imo. That's to say, say that he's chayiv on his sister, and the sister of his father, and the sister of his mother. And Rashi explains, l'chayvu ala choso v'ala chosaviv, meaning in baal shloshtan behelam echad. Let's say he has relations with all of them in one lapse of awareness. He has relations with his sister, and the sister of his father, and the sister of his mother. So there again, he's going to be chayiv on each one. But the Gemara continues pshita, but that's also obvious. Hare gufan muchlakin, those are different bodies, they're different people. Hare shemos muchlakin, and they're also different lavin, they're different warnings. And so therefore it's like any other arayas. So what do you need a special pasuk to say that you're chayiv on each one over there? And so the Gemara continues and instead says, Ella rather l'chayiv ala choso, it's to be mechayiv him on his sister, shehi achos aviv, which is the sister of his father, shehi achos imo, that's also the sister of his mother. Vehechim ashkach aslana, how can you have such a case that a person's sister is also the sister of his father, also the sister of his mother? Bereshia barashia, could be a situation by a wicked person, the son of a wicked person. And Rashi explains, Bereshia bar Reshia, a wicked person, the son of a wicked person, Habal imo, let's say a person has the relations with his mother, V'holed shtei banos, and then he gives birth to two daughters, V'chazaru bal achas mehen, and then he has relations with one of those daughters, V'holed ben, and then has a son, Uva ben al achos imo, and so now the son has relations with the sister of his mother, Shi achosa, which is actually his sister also technically, V'achos aviv, and it's also the sister of his father. That's how you can have such a case. And the idea over here is that this son is having relations with the sister of his mother, again, because these were two daughters that this father had, and also this woman that he's having relations with is the sister of his father, because this person, he was Ba'al Imo, he had relations with his mother, so technically those daughters are also his sister, and it's also going to be his own sister, because they all come from the same father. And the Gemara continues, Rabbi Yitzchak Hamanole, Rabbi Yitzchak, where does he learn this idea out from, that if a person is with his sister, who also happens to be the sister of his father and the sister of his mother, that it's three separate violations, and he's chayiv three karbonos? Nafkalei mi kal v'chomer, he learns it out from the following kal v'chomer, Detanya, as we learned in a brayso, the Bach notes that this should say Detnan, that we learned in a Mishnah, it's from Meseches Krisus. Amar Rabbi Akiva says, Shalti es Rabbi Gamliel Rabbi Yoshua, I asked Rabbi Gamliel and Rabbi Yoshua, be'itliz shel imam, in the marketplace of imam, that they went there to purchase an animal for the wedding feast of the son of Rabbi Gamliel. I asked them the following question: if somebody has relations with his sister, who also happens to be the sister of his father and the sister of his mother, what is the halach in that case? Chayiv al kulon elo achas, is the halach over there that he's chayiv one, or chayiv al kol achas v'achas, or is he chayiv on each one? Amru lo, they said to him, Zulo shamanu, they said to him, this we didn't hear the answer to. Avol shamanu, but we did hear the answer as follows: Habo al chomesh noshim nidos behelam echad. If a person has relations with 5 women and they're all nidos, and it's all in one lapse of awareness, shechayev al kol achas v'achas, that he's chayev on every single one. V'nir in devarim mikal v'chomer, and it seems we can make the following kal v'chomer: Uman nidos shehi shem echad. If when it comes to nida, which it's all the same violation, chayev al kol achas v'achas, he's chayev on each one. Kan sheshlosha shemos, here where it's 3 separate violations: sister of the father, and sister of the mother. Lo kol shekain, so certainly should be chayiv al kol achas v'yachas. V'idach, now the other ones, they respond to that. Why don't they learn from this exact same source, the same kal v'chomer? No, they will respond, it's not a good kal v'chomer. Kal v'chomer prichu, it's a kal v'chomer that we can refute, because malan nida shekain gufan muchlaken, because when it comes to nida, those are separate bodies, separate individuals. Here it's all the same person. You can't make such a kal v'chomer. And the Gemara continues, u'le'idach nami, well, according to the other one as well, hayvadai kal v'chomer prichu, it's certainly a kal v'chomer that we can refute. This is not a good kal v'chomer. And so instead the Gemara says, Ela nafkale, rather, where does Rabbi Yitzchak learn out this idea that if a person again is with his sister, who is the sister of his father and the sister of his mother, that it's 3 separate chiyuvim? He learns it out me'achoso de seifa. He learns it out from the word achoso at the end of the pasuk. And Rashi explains me'achoso de seifa ervas achoso gila. It says at the end of the pasuk ervas achoso gila. From there we learn out, from that achoso, again we learn out that you're going to be chayiv 3. And the Gemara continues, v'idach, now the other tanoim achoso de seifa lamali. So what are they going to do with achoso de seifa? And the Gemara says l'chayvo al achoso ba'asavivu ba'asimo. That's to say that a person is chayiv for a full sister, a sister who's the daughter of his father and the daughter of his mother, not just a half sister. Lomar she'ein onshin min adin, and it's telling us that you can't punish from a kal v'chomer. You really could have made a kal v'chomer. If you're chayiv for your half sister, certainly you should be chayiv for the full sister. And the pasuk has to say achoso at the end to say no. We need a pasuk for that. We're not able to give a punishment based on a kal v'chomer. Rashi Rashi explains she'ein onshin min adin sharei onash al bas imo shelo bas aviv, because we know there's a punishment for the daughter of his mother who's not the daughter of his father, ubas aviv shelo bas imo, or the daughter of his father who's not the daughter of his mother, essentially his half sister. Shenamar, because it says in the pasuk bas aviv o bas imo, the way it's phrased is the daughter of his father or the daughter of his mother. V'yesh lomar kol sheken. Now you could say kal v'chomer she'onash al bas aviv bas imo. If you have a punishment for the bas aviv or bas imo, certainly you should be punished for somebody who's bas aviv and bas imo, for a full sister. But if you said that, it's going to be a punishment based on a kal v'chomer. That's why it says achoso at the end of the pasuk. That's what they do with the achoso at the end of the pasuk. V'idach, now the other one, meaning Rabbi Yitzchak, how does he respond to that? And the Gemara continues and answers. If you want, I could say Gamar onesh me'azara. He learns punishment from warning. We already know there's a warning by full sister. That's how we know punishment by a full sister. Rashi says Gamar onesh me'azara dile'inyan azhara, because by the warning for this ksiv it's written achos chahi yisayir. It says achos chahi, and that's extra. Lahazir al achoso basav ubasimo, and that's a warning for a full sister, a sister who's the daughter of his father and the daughter of his mother. Shenemar, as it says, ervas bas eshes avicha mo'oledes avicha achos chahi. Again, it says the words achos chahi. Uma azhara lo chilek ben achoso basaviv shelo basimo shelo basaviv ula achoso shi basaviv ubasimo. Just like by the warning, we don't make a distinction between half sisters and full sisters. Af bionesh onesh al achoso basaviv v'imo ke achoso de basaviv shelo basimo shelo basaviv. So too by the punishment, we don't make that distinction, and there's a punishment for a full sister as well. And so therefore, again, we could say that Rabbi Yitzchak, he doesn't need that achoso de seifa for this purpose. He learns onesh from azara. And the Gemara continues with another answer. If you want, I could say nafka lei. He learns it out from, and we will continue with this discussion in the next video on Daf Yudalid Amid Beis.